Hello, lighthearted rainbow tribe. Welcome to your moment of silence. Welcome to the bursting forth of the thunder of silence. There's a lovely quote a friend shared with me this morning from Ravi Shankar. I might mangle it a bit, but I think I've got the gist of it. When a bud bursts open, a flower blossoms. When a bud breaks open, a flower blossoms. When the heart breaks, the divine is revealed. Our life in this world is heartbreaking, and most of us don't allow ourselves to experience the heartbreak, and so it doesn't break open unless something just undeniably sorrowful happens that affects us directly. We take a lot of the sorrows of life and don't experience the loss, the pain of human life, the way that it's lived. And so as a result, we don't bud and break open. Our hearts don't flower in the living consciousness of the being that we are. And so the compassion for living as a human being is missing. And we tell people to buck up, get over it, knock back that shot of liquor and get on with it. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And this is not only not what is needed. In the case of children, it can be both traumatizing and result in shutting themselves down. Now, there was a time in the last century when the parenting philosophy was that life is hard, it's really awful, and so you have to toughen up to make it. And so that's the parenting that we got, was get tough, get strong, get so that you aren't affected by what happens to you. And what happened there was really awful, because we got disconnected, and we got disconnected from ourselves, from our feelings, from what was real for us. We got disconnected from one another and from the earth. And that's a heartbreaking reality that we still haven't grieved. We still haven't recognized that strength actually lies in the vulnerability of having our feelings, of being real, and being able to express in a safe place what it is that is our actual experience in the moment. And so when we even read, hear about, see, or in some way are exposed to the suffering, our reactions aren't the heartbreak. It's the defense against experiencing the heartbreak. There's nothing wrong with compassionate action, but it comes from the heart that's broken open as a natural response. So it's not to fix it or change it or do something about it so that we're not affected by the heartbreaking circumstance. It's letting ourselves experience it. That's the key to the well-being. It doesn't last forever, and that's the big fear that people have. If I let my heart break open, if I start to feel the grief that I've never let myself feel, it will go on and on and on. And from my own experience, it went on for several days, coming in waves of just grief and wailing and crying and sobbing, and because I had a lot to catch up on. And a couple of things happened in my discovery of what that's like. And one was that it would subside by virtue of the fact that my body would get tired and need to sleep. And even though it came back, and it came back, and it came in waves and over the course of several days, and opened out into incredible places that were far beyond the experience that I was having in that moment. It was such a relief. It was so freeing and opening, and oh my God, the heart that broke open into levels and degrees of understanding, compassion for human life, because it opened into places where I recognized the abject grief and suffering that people have from the loss of their parents, their spouses, their loved ones, their children. Oh my God. And that we do so much to bring that about. I mean, it's not just the naturalness of the difficulties of life, but it's that we poison the planet, the food, we make the water unpotable, let alone that we keep finding reasons to kill one another. The insanity of that is all due to that people won't let their heart break. So this sense of the flowering consciousness, this that bursts open, that we experience so profoundly here in the spring, the emergence of the essence of our being comes through these places that open up in us, these places that have been shut down, closed off, relegated to the depths of the unconscious, repressed, suppressed. And we can't proceed on our spiritual journey with all that going on. So we want to be able to be safe with that. And we want to be able to allow everyone who's experiencing whatever they're experiencing, excuse me, to have their experience as it is. So if we're not comfortable with sadness and sorrow and grief and anger and rage and hatred and terror and fear and all those lovely emotions, if we haven't become comfortable with them in ourselves and understand what they are, we can't offer that safe space to people who are experiencing it, because they will make us highly uncomfortable. We won't be able to offer them, it's okay. You're going to be fine. You can handle this. You can feel this. This too shall pass. And I'm speaking from experience. I know this. I've got it in my bones. The planet is already sacred. And we demonstrate that in how we live. The recognition that human life is also sacred seems to be passing us by. Animal life, all life is sacred. Our feelings, this that breaks open the heart, is part of the sacredness. And our heart doesn't get broken open without love, without there being some form of love. Sometimes it's not love, it's attachment, but love is there. Love is here. Love is alive and in action through us. Be this love. Love yourself as you are. Let yourself have your experience, your feelings. Let them be. Let them unfold themselves in a safe environment that says it's okay to be here. Be kind to yourself in whatever your experience is. With your outrage about what's happening in the world, break open your heart. Don't just hang out in the outrage. Let yourself be touched deeper. Let yourself know why you're outraged. And then the action. The love in action. We'll continue to visit all of these ways that our true nature functions in us and what's necessary to allow that, in connection with our beautiful planet, with living as a full, enlivened by spirit human being, where this beautiful, wondrous, great mystery has got us. So as always, we offer the blessings of this expression out into the unified field to touch all the human hearts that are afraid to break open. To let them know with confidence, it's okay. We'll all be better for it. May this love assuage all the pain of all the heartbreak. And may the essence of our being come bursting forth out of the heart that's broken open. As always, thank you so much for joining in, for playing. And may this bless you all through your day.